Um, Someone actually told me that there are only three reasons why you come to Qatar. One is because you run away from something, one is because you follow someone here, or one is because you came here for the money. I followed somebody here, followed my mom basically. So she got remarried to Bart, who's my stepdad. Because he's a diplomat, he got posted to Qatar and we expected, like, we wanted Australia, we wanted Ireland, something else. But then out of this sudden, they just told us Qatar, and we never even heard of it. Like, we never heard of Doha, we never heard of anything, you know. They just said it's in the Middle East, and I was so shocked. No, actually, a lot of my friends didn't know. Even till today, they think Doha and Qatar are two different places. But a lot of people from a city a state that is close to where I come from. So I came from Tamil Nadu, and a lot of people who come from Kerala, because of a trade route that was made a really long time ago. A lot of the people from a region that we call like Kerala they've come to Doha to work. they okay, when I came here, all my friends thought that it's very conservative. You're not going to be allowed to do a lot of things that you get to do in other places. So, you know, with clothing, they thought there was restrictions. They thought the type of social life you have here, you know, you can't drink, you can't really go out much. um, so that was a perception. Also, I don't think a lot of people, when they think about Dubai, they think about the buildings, the beautiful landscape. When you think about Doha, you don't think of the same kind of like desert land, something that's aspiring to be Dubai, but is not Dubai. So yeah, everyone thought that, oh my god, it's going to be barren. You're not going to know anybody there. It's going to be very boring. It's going to be dusty. Um, the timing of like when I moved to Doha was really good in my life because I just finished university. So I was in a place where I was okay to move. I wasn't leaving friends behind because my friends already from my home city, they had already gone to university and they'd left the city. So I wasn't leaving anyone behind. There was no family that I was leaving behind. Also, I had grown up, so there was less of that sense of, oh my god, I'm leaving my home behind. I was excited. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I never really thought about the Middle East much growing up. I just never did. It never came into the Middle East was always in the news for something that was, connected to maybe money or oil or. So I don't know. It never came into my periphery of, interest. But when I found out about Doha, I did research it, and the thing is, I think for me, I was just worried that the people and the type of life over here was just going to be very different. And I just thought I wouldn't relate to it and I wouldn't know. But I've never been somebody who's had a problem like, adjusting. I think when I saw the pictures, I thought, okay, wow, this looks quite advanced. It's not really what I thought. And then I saw that there were a lot of expats. So in India, like, I don't really interact with the expats, so I didn't really know how their life is. But, when I saw like the beaches and I saw the malls, I thought, okay, this seems like a nice place. Um, but then the only thing is, I could see that there was not many like trees and greenery. Came here in summer, so I came here in a time when it was really hot. Like just September is when I came. There was nobody on the streets where we lived. No one was out. So I think all of our hearts sunk a bit because it seemed like what we expected. You know, it was very deserted. The first shopping complex that we went to was Almira, which is more local compared to going to Carrefour. So when I went to Almeida, it was like, just Qataris everywhere. It was a bit different. My sister and I were finding it a bit, like awkward, and yeah, it was just really dull. Yeah, but now I understand. I know that Doha has its shades, like I know in winter everybody comes out. I know that in summer there are things that you do inside the house. You don't have to worry about coming out. And yeah, I think the thing is, my life in Doha is very different because, I mean, like this is not something to brag about, but it's just the reality that because we have a diplomatic life. So when I first came here, we were going to so many parties, we were invited to all of these big events, and suddenly it was like living like a princess. And our house is huge. I've never seen such a big house in my life. House is literally the biggest house I've ever seen, such high ceilings. The dining table is literally for 20 people. It's weird to be there. I came from a very small apartment in India, Suddenly be in this house where you have to climb 3 levels of stairs to get to my room. It's too, like, I don't know. I don't know if I prefer it. There are a lot of things that I like about my life in Doha, which is work wise, I feel like I get a lot of opportunities because in India, there's so many people that you kind of get lost in the sea of like talent that we have. Um, and another thing is it's less crowded, and yeah, it's a lot to deal with, the crowds and the people everywhere, and it's also one of the main things that I like about Doha is that it's safe. Yeah, a lot of things that I wouldn't be able to do in India if I was there. Yeah, I mean, we have small elements of Arabic food, like we have the hummus, we have it, but it's never good in India. And we have, but a lot of the other things, the fatoush and the tabule and everything, I've never had all of that, and even the biryani and the other things that they have here. But one thing I found interesting was that a lot of the Arabic food looks like Indian food. It's literally the same. So even when they told us about karak, I was like, okay, this is actually Indian tea. Like, we literally do the same thing. Um, yeah, I mean, people wise, I feel like I haven't met too many people who are local, but the ones that I have met, have been very sweet and welcoming. And yeah, but that's something I feel a bit, you have to go searching for it in Doha because it's very easy to get sucked up in this Western world that they've created. But I know that there are so many parts of Doha where you can actually see, like, the authentic culture that exists. I've been invited to some um, women's groups where I really got exposed to, how they interact, how their life is. Because a lot of people have so many misconceptions about the women from this part of the region. I think one of the biggest ones was that there's a lot of pressure from the religion to act in a certain way, and that the women are not consensual to that, that they're kind of pressured to be, the way that they are. And when I met a lot of these women, they really respected their culture, they respected their religion, and it wasn't like when you come from a place, when you come from a different place, people always tell you in the news, you read stories about, these women being forced to do something. They're supposed to cover up. They don't have any like life. They can't work. They can't do. But I've met so many Qatari women who have businesses. So many, you know, and yeah, even though they have a certain dress code that they stick to outside, I think the way that they carry themselves shows that they're not doing it out of fear. They're doing it because they want to do it. And yeah, it's really nice when you actually interact with them, when you meet them in their parties and they take out everything and they're wearing their beautiful, like, their dresses. And I don't know, it doesn't seem as bad as we make it seem. One of the main things was that here you just see predominantly Christian people or Muslim people. And then where I come from, there's people from all sorts of religions, and so you have a mixture of like their lifestyles and their culture. Like when I wake up in the morning in India, you hear the temple, you hear the church, you hear the mosque, you hear everything. And being here, it's a bit like limited. You just kind of mainstreamed into one thing. One of the things that I learned coming to Doha was what Ramadan was about. You know, I thought Ramadan was just about you're fasting, you have to do this for 1 month, that's just what it's about. And then, one of my friends um, who's actually celebrates Ramadan properly was telling me about, how it's a month of giving and looking inward. Um, and you have to spend a lot of time with yourself, with your family. That's why the days are shorter. You don't work as much. You spend a lot of time giving. So I didn't actually know that, but yeah, it was hard. Like, I was in school, and sometimes I would forget that there would be kids in the classroom who are fasting, and I just take out like water and start drinking, and then it made me more aware that I had to ask them, are you comfortable? I'm sorry. I'll just go out, and yeah. When I first came to Doha, it was my birthday. So I decided to buy this dress which was really like short, and then it had a long skirt, but the skirt was split in the middle so you could see my legs. And me and my sister decided to come out to a hookah bar, and we were just sitting over there, and I had clipped the skirt together because I was so nervous that somebody was going to say something to me. But then I wasn't sure because I read online that you could, in hotels, it was okay. Um, so I was really nervous, and then we were sitting there, and we had everything, and then we came outside, and I opened the clip and said, "Okay, girl, can you just take a picture of me outside?" So I was sitting there, and you could see my legs. And suddenly one of the locals just walked by, and I got so nervous. I just quickly put my skirt together, almost ran out, and then he called me. And in that moment I was like, oh my god, it's just the first week, we're dead, we're screwed. And then I turned around and I said, yeah, excuse me, what happened? He's like, you left your phone on the and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I quickly scurried away. And it was just so funny because today I wear clothes and I don't really have any problem because nobody says anything. It's all in your head. And it was so funny, yeah. I would tell them to get Maggi, which is like this noodles that we eat in India, which you don't get here. No, I mean, apart from that, the funny thing is because there's so many Indians here, you get everything. You don't need to bring anything from India. Um, I would just say that if you're coming here, it's definitely a good idea because people love Indians over here, and it's really not hard to adjust. You feel like you're in India. There's not much of a change, and I think if you're somebody who's looking for a place that's different, but is at the same time can feel like home, I think you should definitely come here. I mean, you're not totally, and also in going back to India is very cheap, so I would say you should come here. One thing I found very interesting about when I came here was that in every country, dating is defined differently. So in India, dating is a bit more serious. At least when I was growing up, when you told somebody that you're dating someone, it was kind of like, okay, that's your boyfriend, that's your girlfriend. But when I came to Doha, dating was just exploring, like the person, meeting them, having a good time, and then you decide if it's serious. But no, so in Doha, when people ask me out on a date, I said, you just met me, how can you ask me out on a date? What's wrong with you, And so it was so funny because different cultures had like a different thing. So I would meet boys from like totally different parts of the world, and then they would just be so casual about it. And I said, wow, this is a very big decision for me, But yeah, I think for me, because I came from a place where you're not really exposed to people from so many different places. You're mostly exposed to people from different parts of India. You're not really exposed to different parts of like the world. It was definitely fun and interesting to meet so many people. I think people also have misconceptions in Doha that everybody here is just looking to have fun and they're not really looking for anything serious. I think that's really wrong because I've met so many people who got married in Doha. just because it's an expat community doesn't mean that everybody's just here to think it's a holiday. So yeah. I think most of the questions that I get is, um, how are you liking living in a totally different place? And um, the thing about a lot of people who move from India, a lot of them don't come back. They get very comfortable with, living outside India because it is more comfortable. You're coming from a country where there are almost like 1.3 billion people there, and it's not easy being in an environment where there are just so many different people. So a lot of people have always asked me, are you ever going to come back? Do you like it there? Are you settled there? And I never really know the answer because for me, I have a lot of like attachment to parts of my own country, which I don't think, I think I would go back. But yeah, they always ask me like, is everything better there? Do you miss home? Do you feel like you're disconnected from your culture and your identity? And I don't really think so. I think the more you come out, the more you have to talk about your own country. In India, you don't talk about India. You never talk about it. Like, you're just talking to other Indians. Yeah. For me, one of the interesting things was when I came to Doha, I met so many Pakistanis, and being in India where, a lot of people you don't meet anybody from Pakistan in India. You never meet somebody who says I'm from Pakistan. They don't get visas easily. And all my closest friends in Doha are from Pakistan. And that was really refreshing because when you're in a country where they're always propagating like hate towards a place, and then you meet those people and they're literally you have the same language, you have the same culture, you eat the same things, it's literally just a religion dividing you. And then you come here, and because you're both of you are away from your homes, that commonness that we have, that similarity brings us together. And yeah, it's fascinating because when I told my friends back home, oh my god, so many of my friends are from Pakistan, and then you talk to some of the elder people and their views are just so different. They kind of like, oh, Pakistan is bad, why would you have friends from there? And it's so weird. No one, when you come out of your own country, it doesn't even matter, like it literally doesn't even matter. So yeah, that was interesting for me.